7 signs that give away a woman who just slept with another man. Sometimes it is not one obvious clue that changes everything. It is the small shifts in energy, behavior, and emotional connection that suddenly feel different. Female psychology, like human psychology in general, often reveals internal conflict through subtle behavioral changes. If a woman has become emotionally involved with someone else, whether physically or emotionally, her actions may begin to reflect distraction, distance, or guilt. But the truth is, these signs are not proof by themselves. Stress, personal issues, or unrelated emotional struggles can create similar patterns. What truly matters is consistent changes in behavior that do not match her usual personality. Today, we'll uncover 7 psychological signs that may reveal something has changed in the relationship. Sudden emotional distance. One of the biggest psychological signs is sudden emotional withdrawal. If she was once warm, engaged, and emotionally present, but now feels cold, distant, or disconnected, this can be a red flag. Research on infidelity psychology often points to reduced relational investment and emotional attention as one of the earliest signs. She may speak less, avoid deep conversations, or seem mentally somewhere else. Increased phone secrecy. Another strong sign is sudden secrecy around her phone. If she now keeps it face down, takes it everywhere, changes passwords, or becomes defensive when messages arrive, relationship psychology often sees this as a major behavior shift worth noticing. The issue isn't phone use itself, it's the sudden change in behavior around it. She becomes overly defensive. Sometimes guilt shows up as defensiveness. If simple questions about where she was or how her day went suddenly trigger irritation, anger, or over-explanations, psychology suggests this can be linked to stress, guilt, or concealment. A guilty mind often reacts more strongly than the question itself deserves. Changes in intimacy. A noticeable shift in physical intimacy can also be a sign that something is emotionally different. This might show up as sudden disinterest, emotional detachment during intimacy, or an unusual change in behavior. Research notes that infidelity can reduce intimacy frequency with a current partner. A noticeable change in intimacy is often one of the clearest emotional signals that something deeper may be happening in a relationship. This can show up as a sudden drop in physical affection, less desire for closeness, or a lack of the natural warmth that once was present between you. She may avoid hugs, kisses, hand-holding, or moments that used to feel effortless and emotionally connected. Sometimes the physical connection is still there, but it may feel emotionally distant, routine, or lacking genuine passion. In relationship psychology, intimacy often reflects emotional closeness, so when emotions shift, physical connection usually changes as well. You may notice that she becomes less responsive, less affectionate, or no longer initiates closeness the way she once did. At times, the opposite can also happen, where her behavior suddenly feels unusual or different from her normal pattern. These changes do not automatically mean something negative, because stress, anxiety, or personal struggles can also affect intimacy. What matters most is whether this shift feels consistent and different from her usual way of connecting with you. When intimacy changes suddenly, it often points to an emotional change that needs honest communication and understanding. Her schedule suddenly changes. If her routines suddenly become inconsistent without a clear reason, this is another psychological red flag. Relationship experts often note that unexplained schedule changes are one of the most common signs of hidden activity. Again, what matters is repeated patterns, not a single late night. She becomes critical of you more. Sometimes guilt gets redirected. Psychology refers to this as projection or dissonance reduction. A partner who is hiding something may begin finding fault in everything you do as a way to internally justify their behavior. If criticism suddenly increases without clear cause, it may reflect something deeper. Her energy feels different. Sometimes the biggest sign is not something visible, but something felt. Her energy may seem distracted, absent-minded, or emotionally detached. Infidelity psychology often highlights altered attention and absent-mindedness as a key clue. She may smile at her phone, seem mentally elsewhere, or stop investing emotionally in the connection. Sometimes the biggest sign is not something you can clearly see, but something you can deeply feel in her presence. Her energy may suddenly seem distant, colder, or emotionally disconnected compared to how she usually behaves with you. She may still be physically there, but it feels as if her mind and emotions are somewhere else. The warmth in her voice may sound different, her responses may become shorter, and the natural excitement she once showed may slowly fade. In female psychology, emotional shifts often reveal inner conflict before words ever do. You may notice that her attention drifts easily, she seems distracted, or her usual affection feels forced rather than natural. Sometimes she smiles less, avoids deep eye contact, or no longer reacts with the same emotional intensity. This change in energy can make the relationship feel strangely unfamiliar, even if nothing has been openly said. While this does not automatically mean betrayal, it often signals that something important has changed inside her emotionally. The key is to notice the pattern over time, because energy rarely changes without a deeper reason behind it. The truth is, no single sign can confirm betrayal. Human behavior is complex, and many of these changes can also come from stress, anxiety, or personal struggles. The real psychology lies in consistent patterns of secrecy, emotional withdrawal, and changed routines over time. The healthiest response is not instant accusation, but calm observation and honest communication. Sometimes the signs reveal betrayal, and sometimes they reveal pain that has nothing to do with another person. The key is to look for patterns, not assumptions.